On this episode, we're changing the serpentine belt and replacing the right side motor mount. First, get the car in the air. I still think it's easier than a jack and jack stands. It takes a little while to set up, but with the jack, you got to jack it up, jack stand, drop it down, move to the back, same thing. So, you know, I still kind of like this. So the motor mount and the serpentine belt. So the motor, look, it's kind of like this. We'll do a close-up. But when you're driving down the road, you're going to hear a thunking. And it's going to sound like it's coming from the door area, the front suspension sometimes, but it's going to be a loud, not loud, it's going to be a thunking. It's going to be a thunking noise. And what's happening is the motor mount has broken through all of the insulating rubber around it, and it's metal on metal contact. The car's going to drive the same. It's just going to, when you hit a bounce, you hit a bump, it's going to, you're going to hear it inside the car. And if you turn the wheels all the way to the right or to the left and put it in gear, you might get a little bit of vibration over here. You'll feel it in the car sometimes. And then when we look at it from this side, see that big gap? So I'm just going to throw this little handy dandy measuring tool down there. Try to read it with my eyes. Can't. Need my glasses. Hold on. So if we measure it from the top, it's about 1.5 inches. If we look at the replacement, you can see it's much closer to the top, and it's only about, well, it's less than 1 inch. So what happens is this rubber gives out, and then this piece is being forced down, and it's bouncing right here, and that's where the vibrating, the chunking noise comes from. So this is like a stock replacement type motor mount. This is encased in rubber with some metal reinforcements in it. There's a gel down here, and then this, you know, cushions the motor when you're driving. You can find this on Rock Auto, at your local auto parts store, Amazon. Do you need to spend a pile of money on this? I don't think so. So this one lasted about 100,000 miles. It's a 2017, so it's 7 years old. I did see where there's some aftermarket polyurethane bushing brackets. They're going to be a little bit stiffer, they're going to work better, they're going to last longer, but that's up to you. I'm not making any horsepower mods to this car. I'm not doing anything silly to it, so a stock style motor mount will be fine for hopefully another 100,000 miles and another 7 years. Before I do the motor mount, I'm gonna do the serpentine belt. Why? Well, with the motor tilted down, it might be a little easier to get to. So we're gonna start with that. The belt is the same one that came on the car. So it's also got over 100,000 miles on it. And it's about time to replace it. One of these times it's going to break, and you know, then you're kind of stuck. So 100K is a good time to do it. Since we're doing the motor mount, we're doing them both at the same time. So for the timing belt, we have to take the bottom panel off, and we have to take the side wheel well cover out. So tires coming off and everything's coming off from underneath. Here we go. It's a BMW, okay? Badge is a Mini Cooper. You're gonna need these styles of sockets. We call them star bits. So they look like this. You're not gonna get a regular socket on there. It ain't gonna work. So this one's from AutoZone. It's Duralast brand. This is a E12. And I think it'll fit. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So E12, I don't know what the ones down here are, but they're gonna be pretty close. So the AutoZone kit came with, you know, a few. And then the other thing you're gonna need is, I'm losing it, man. Torx. The other thing is Torx. So star bits over here, Torx over there. They have regular hex heads and all that other stuff eventually, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so we're under the car. This is the belly pan. This is a ELDEST builds modification. So, you know, some people will drive up over the curb, stopper thing, and then this hangs up, and then it rips all of this off. So when I got the car, I modified this piece of aluminum because this was ripped out and air got up in here and it would fold, you know, whatever. So the process is still going to be the same. We got to get all of these fasteners loose so we can get this piece off, and we're taking this piece off. And they're just number 8s. Dirty. Now I have to clean it. And a dead mouse. Poor little mousey. Let me do some sorting and then we'll be right back. Because this is gonna bother me. GoPro, stop recording. So this is inside the wheel well. We took the tire off. We have to get this liner out. So it's held on by all sorts of stuff. Most of them are going to be number 8s. And then there's these little plastic screw fastener things over here that are 10 millimeters, and then it's got these little clips. So the clips are like a rivet. You pull it out and it'll come out, then you put it back together and it refastens. I probably missed one over here. I did. So I'm gonna start over here and go this way. I found it. Sort of. At least I know where it's at. So it it came out of here, dropped down here, went behind here, and went all the way inside of the brake rotor. Let's not do that again. Okay. Put the head in the way. Here we go. So these little fasteners, they're like two-stage, I guess you want to call them. There's a pin, and you just grab it and you can pull it out. You can pull it out all the way, or sometimes it'll turn loose. Sometimes it won't. So pull it out all the way. Same thing on this bottom one. See how it came out? And then this one, you know, of course, why would it? They make a tool for this, but you're looking at a tool for this. So put your little doodad back in there. They'll go in a little bit easier. And then the last thing, they have one right over here. And it just looks like a widget crimp body mount fastener thingy, hairy, spiky, porcupiney, doodad, deal-a-majig. I know I'm talking too much, but it's okay. And that is it. Lots of dirt coming out. Go ahead. Oh no, it's a doodad. Okay. So now I think that's it. Move out of the way. So we're going to start in the front. I think schmutz coming out of there. Pull this fender out a little bit. move it out of the way. Okay, hold on. There's dirt everywhere. Dirt everywhere. You can see our motor mount right here. I gotta do some cleaning. GoPro, stop recording. Can I see? Yeah, I can see. You can see. Okay, so we took the fender liner out and I was cleaning around here, and so we have wires here and wires here, and you can tell that these were chewed. So on that little panel there's a dead mouse, and it looks like little dead mouse was chewing on my wires. So I snipped them. Now then, let's back up. I'm not an archaeologist, but the mouse is all desiccated and almost bones. So it's been in there a while. And a couple of months ago, I got this little alert that said my headlight adjuster was not functioning properly. Contact Mini Cooper immediately. And of course, I ignored it because I could see the headlight go up and down. So, does this go to the headlight? No. It goes down here to this suspension component. So maybe this leveler over here is what helps control the headlight. So we're gonna hook this back up, and maybe that notification will go away. As long as Mr. Mousy didn't chew through and blow anything, we should be okay. So there's 3 different colors. So you just want to match those up. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip these back. And these wires are tiny. 18 to 20 gauge. And I trimmed them back to the last bite mark just in case the wire may have been damaged. And so this thing runs along this body and then curves up this way. So I'm going to have to add an extension to get these wires to meet up. So first I'm going to put on my connectors on this side and we'll work our way over. What I kind of like to do is I kind of like to bend these over a little bit, make them a little bit bigger. And then I can fit them in the hole. Make sure they don't pull out. Really? I was using that. So let's bend this a little bit. Blue stripe, pink stripe. So I'm going to start with blue stripe. we should be able to do is slide this. It's a little hot still. Over, ouch, still hot. Over this, and over this, and over that. And then that goes like that. So right here are little zip tie holder things. See? So we're going to put this wire right here. So that little tangent is done. So one rat chewed wire fixed. Okay. So the next part is we have to take this intercooler piping off. There's two bolts right here, and then it's clipped in on either side. So it's going to be harder to take off than it is to put on because of those clips, usually. The reason you have to take this off is because you can't get your tool up in here onto the tensioner pulley to release the tension to get the belt off and on again. So, you know. This hose out of this clip. We can stick it right here for now, I think. Maybe not. Okay. Anyway, so that's loose. Now, this is going to be difficult. So there's a spring clip on each side. The clip goes all the way around. But what you have to do is get up in here. Be helpful if I had a light on this side. Like that, maybe? Yeah. So it's up in here. If we can pry here, we can pull it out. See? Like that. That was easy. I'm going to do the other side. We got to do the other side. Got to do the other side. Come on, man. Fuck. Don't have to hit your head. You know what we could do? Is maybe start down here. Get this thing in right there. And then, come on. Come on. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna pop that side loose. And then this side's gonna, you're an asshole. Pop down. It's not gonna pop down. Got it. Don't got it. Still don't got it. So every time you pop one, the other one wants to go back in. Maybe like that. Got it. got to get the top one. So right here. Not good enough with the light. That's aluminum. That's not. It's in my way. That's in the way. That's aluminum. Right there. Can you see it? Basically. So come up here. Got it. Okay. Now then, how do we get this out of here? I don't know. This is in the way. This is in the way. This is all in the way. It doesn't fit. So maybe it doesn't fit because my motor mount's broken. I don't know. Let me jack the motor up. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay, got it. What a pain in the ass. So the clips, 3 points of contact on the inside of the clip. So when you're pulling it with your screwdriver, you're pulling out this clip, it's got a little spot where it'll kind of hang up right here. But then the problem is when you get this one, see how it wants to pop back in? Sorry. So you got to get it wide open to slide it off. And then to put it back on, it should just be a push in and click situation. So set that to the side. Now let's take a look. Get this out of the way. Can't see a thing. Okay, got it. I can barely see. So we're looking through this hole, and we're working over here. So we got to get a wrench on that bolt to squeeze this back, and then we're going to line this up with this other piece down here. We're going to put a pin in it, and it's going to hold it while we take the belt off. And I am not going to be able to get you a good place to watch, so you're going to watch from over here. Just aggravating. Okay, so 19 it is. Right there. We're going to push it like this. I think. Fuck me. What the fuck? We're going to push it like this. We are not pushing it like that. This is so dumb, Mini Cooper engineers. You guys suck so bad. Alright, there's a flashlight in the way now, so at least I can see. And if I'm sorry, get out of my way. Thank you. Just GoPro, stop recording. So I had to get a helper, but you take your 19mm box in, you snake it up there onto the bolt that's inside the pulley, and then you gotta push this way, and it's a big push, and then your helper has to slip a pin in here to hold this. But now the belt's loose, so belt routing is crazy. And I don't think I'll be able to show you, but so across the top of the alternator, it runs across to this pulley, and then it's going to flip up and around this pulley, and then around this pulley, and then go around the air conditioner, and then back around this pulley, and then from the top of this pulley it goes back up to the alternator. So I don't know how, but we're going to try to get this off and get the new one on without doing too much damage, because look, see, it doesn't even want to fit between the space. So I'm gonna say this job is terrible. I don't ever want to do it again. This and this. Sorry, I'm talking mostly to myself. Okay, we're close, pretty close, except for the part where it's going the wrong way. Alright, like that. Then we can gap it like that. I don't know, man. Can I even see up there? This job is very frustrating. It's not difficult. Well, pinching that pulley back was, but the rest of it is very frustrating. You're gonna have to plan for a whole day. Okay, that's about all I can say. So we got the old belt off. This is a Conti-Tech, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks to be in pretty good shape. It's still soft. You can read the letters, but it's got 100,000 miles on it. So here's the new belt with the old belt. You can see that the numbers are the same. This one says BMW on it, but it's the same brand. It's made in Germany. So now we gotta finagle this thing on. The good part about it is that because it's new, it wants to twist sideways, so it might slide better on the sideways sections, but none of it's going to be easy. I'll tell you that right now. So here's the alternator portion, and then our other pulley is back here behind this motor mount, which I loosened up to get the belt off and on again. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how we're gonna finagle this in here. It ain't gonna be easy, but I think what I'll do is try to snake it up through the bottom and then split it. Let me change your battery out and then we'll give it a go. I don't think there's any way for me to do this that gives you a look. Honest. It's chaos and anarchy. Everything is hidden by motor pieces and such. You can see this big pulley, but you can't see this top. Where's my finger? It's over here. Oh, that's the best I can get you. Okay, More technical difficulties. I am tired of struggling with that belt to get it on. I have to take the motor mount out anyway. So we are switching to motor mount removal so I can get my hands in there and get that belt on without struggling anymore. Here's my recommendation. If you don't have all day, and you don't want to take the motor mount loose, then just get it serviced, because this belt job is pretty tough. I don't like it at all. So it's a T30. There's 3 T30s around here, and you have to be careful because these little clips are kind of weak. And somebody from BMW decided to go ahead and put like 5 pounds of Loctite on every one of these screws. So you got to back them out gently, slowly even. Fucking zip tie. It's just stupid, man. Come on. Okay. Headlight out. Sorry about that light. So this is the old defective motor mount. You can see how it's squished here and it's loose. There isn't a lot of space for anything. Resting place for this AC line. Pretty sure that is a 14. We can get that right there without doing too much damage. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Not that hard. But you lose your torque with all of these extensions. Torque goes down. Watch you get yourself the bolt stuck. there's not any Loctite or anything on it. And then there's another big one over here. Right here. Every light in the house is on. Can't really see. But that looks pretty close. Turn. Come in here like this and like that, and this is in the way, so no, that's not gonna work. This motherfucker. Breaker bar will fit, right? Breaker bar always fits. In the way, give it a pull. Come on. What are you doing? Going on this side. Not tight. It's not that tight. It's just awkward. And then when it finally does come loose, your tool binds up against the motor. And that is not even possible. Jesus. And then there's one more surprise bolt right here. There's a little clippy that holds this AC line on there, right here. Surprise bolt. Right there. And motor mounts in the way again. Maybe. Yeah. And it's just a little, it's a 10. It's an E10. Got it. Okay. This little doodad does not touch. This one does. So I'm going to slide it off or something. So this is the motor mount, and it's loose, and it is surrounded by air conditioning lines, and then there's, you know, wiring harness in the way. So if we cut that zip tie with the clippers, we can move that down, and that should give us some space. And now we have to move this out, and it looks like it should just come out like this. Something like this. Yeah, look at that. It's coming. It's going to be harder getting it back in because of these lines. Okay, so motor mount. Look at that. Okay, so here's the old motor mount. It's broken, see? It's supposed to be firm and stiff. And you can see here this shiny spot. And this shiny spot when you're driving down the road. It's making that racket. So this is poofy. It leaks out like a gel. There's a gel in there. It was a totally stupid idea, but you know. Not my idea. Off-brand pledge, y'all. So here's that clip right here. It's just a caged nut. So if you break this part off, you can just put a nut behind it and hold it, and then, you know, reapply it. And we're looking at the belt. So this is the top portion that runs across from the alternator to this back pulley. And then I gotta feed this part up, and it's gotta go around this pulley right here. And then this pulley gets fed by the opposite side. So it's gonna make like a Y down thing. So around that pulley on the left, and then over this pulley right here. And then there's another pulley over there. And we're gonna go down on the back side of that with the opposite feed. Okay, stop. Check the alternator pulley. That's on, that's on, that's on. This needs to go a little bit further back. I mean, Sorry. So make sure that the pulley is inside, or the belt is inside the ridges of the pulley and lined up on the ribs. This one is, so this one is riding on the smooth side, and then this one is a smooth pulley, but it's riding on the rib side. So then the main pulley and the AC pulley have ribs on them. I just want to make sure everything's in line before I release the tension on that keeper and let the tension go, because if it's off, it might line itself up when you turn it on, or it could fly off. So however your luck's rolling that day, you decide. Me, I'm gonna play it safe. This Mini Cooper been screwing me all day long. Zero leverage, buddy. Oh, drop the motor. Drop the motor a little bit. Like that. Yeah. Maybe some more. Yeah. Like that, maybe some more. I'm gonna do it like this. And we're gonna go. And 1, 2, 3. Got it. Okay. Hopefully these belts tight. It's pretty tight. That hurt. Pretty bad. Not gonna lie. How's the top? Yeah, it's good. Okay. That stupid belt is finally on. Okay, so now you can put the motor mount in, get this motor back where it belongs, and you got to reattach turbo pipe and all of the rest of that stuff. So I'm going to take these parts and transfer them to the new part, because they keep the AC lines from rubbing. This isn't as squishy as it was before, so it's going to be a little bit more of a struggle, so to speak, because, you know, Mini Cooper. Because, you know, Mini Cooper, come on. Okay, like this, and then this, and go around like this, pick that up. This forward. Of course, it's always plastic in the way. So this is going to come back. rotates. This rotates like that. There's a stupid clip. It's over here somewhere. So first, let's drop in our bolts. That helps us line it up. And then there's this big dude that goes in sideways. Get it started with a few threads before you put a tool on it. Right in the finger. Right here. Yeah, right there. It's a piece of plastic. I don't need you anymore. Get out of here. All right. Oh, don't need that anymore. That was almost my foot. Yes, I'm gonna resecure the air conditioning line. Why? Because it's Texas. So this thing right here that I'm bumping up against, this is a fuel line. I'm going to be careful with that. I got my AC line brackets in there. This is here to keep it up so it doesn't bounce too much. Let me get some zip ties. We'll secure some wires So your wire harness thingamajig, can y'all see this right here? Yeah. So you just run it through this doodad. I had a light. And the doodad will turn. Run it through the doodad. Turn the doodad. Run it through the doodad. And then curl it back on itself like this, and then lock it up out of place like that. Okay, so all we have to do is this one when we put the light back in. But first, I'm gonna jack this motor up and get these motor mount bolts in there. And I think you'll be able to see, yeah, right here. So you can see motor mount down there. It's got to come up a ways. And there's a poker thing to align it, so just go slow. You may have to adjust a smidge back and forth. This plastic, yeah, see it rotates pretty good. We're not even close. We're off like half an inch. There we go. Now we should be able to get it to almost drop down. What am I holding on to? That's a electrical connection. I don't recommend that at all. There's a engine lift point right here, but you can't really grab it. Okay, we're getting close. So I may be able to start a bolt. So there's 5 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we're only using 3 bolts. So ends and middles. That's not close enough yet. You're kind of in the way. But then again, you're always kind of in the way. And then, you know, just give them some turns to make sure they're started first. If you can run it down by hand, run it down by hand for a while. We're aluminum in aluminum with steel bolts, so you know it could cross thread, gnarl it up, gouge it out, shit like that. It's pretty tight. Okay, so belts on, motor mounts in, dropping the jack. There we go. So now it's stayed relatively in the right spot that it was before. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna put this turbo piping in. It's just gonna push to clip. Snap it in, bolt it up. Give it some tugs though to make sure you got it all the way on there. It's gotta click on both sides. Look, man, I just did a whole program with the dang thing not working. So I plugged the headlight in to avoid any communication to go to the mothership to say that it wasn't working right. I turned it on, revved it up, belt stayed on, everything's good. The little triangle for the misaligned headlight assembly is gone. That means our wire job downstairs worked. So I think the last thing I'm gonna do tonight is put this headlight back in, and then I'm gonna call it because it's after 10. That just sits right in there, and then we're gonna screw it back together with the supplied screws. So this adjuster is reverse thread, so when you're tightening this thing up it wants to spin out, so we're gonna have to, you know, hold it in place while we're adjusting. So for tomorrow, we gotta do the fender liner, the belly plate and the skid plate, and the wheel and the tire, So that's it for tonight. I'm out. I'm blasted. I'm done. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care. So here we are the next day. I gotta put on that fender liner and the body panels underneath. So I slap on it. And I also watched a couple of videos. Again, I still don't see a way where I could get that belt on without pulling that motor mount. I guess what I'm saying is you gotta be prepared to do that if you're gonna attempt this belt change. You've already taken everything off, so the headlight's not that big of a deal. It's just 4 more bolts and then a couple bolts on that motor mount. So before you get started on the serpentine belt change and the motor mount change, I was going to go over some parts, the tools list. I need these star sockets, a 14, a 12, and a 10. That's for the motor mount. I was using a 1/4-inch drive with a 3/8 adapter to get to some of those bolts. The big ones for the wheels, the lugs, T25, T27, and a T30. This great big screwdriver, but I don't remember what I used it for. I'll have to look in the video. I used these screwdrivers to try to push the belt off, and then I used these to try to push the new belt on. That didn't work. I ended up having to remove the motor mount to get the belt on. So if you're doing it, you may have to do that too. For all the drop bolts, for the zip ties, number 19, this is to put that belt tensioner into its service condition. Took 2 people. And then this is a 3mm Allen wrench to slide in there so that it'll lock into place. 16mm is to take the AC bump stop things off of the old motor mount and put on the new motor mount. And number 8, spanner to get that one bolt off the plastic on the inside of the motor mount. You always need pliers. Sometimes you need angle pliers to help pull those little plastic tabs out. And number 10, 10mm and an 8mm for all this stuff underneath. And a couple flashlights and a couple rags for cleaning. Some wax and grease remover to clean some of that stuff. Total time on this project doing the motor mount and the serpentine belt is about 7 hours. But you know, I did cleaning and stuff while I was doing that. But it's not an easy job. You're gonna need to plan for all day. You need to get the car up off the ground so you can get under there, and you're going to need a jack, another jack to support the motor when you're taking that motor mount off. So 1 jack and some jack stands, you'll be fine. I can't really think of anything else. So I'm going to put everything back on the bottom of the car, and that's it.